With his elite athletic testing, Mike Washington Jr. proved he's a top 4 running back prospect.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Damian Parson. I'm an NFL draft analyst for Bleacher Report. And as always, thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. Guys, got a fun one. Recapping the action from the wide receivers and running backs at the NFL Scouting Combine. Who are the money makers? Who rose and raised their stock down in Indianapolis a couple days ago over the weekend? Who fumbled the bag and who dropped their stock? We'll get into all of that. But before that, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Let's start with Mike Washington Jr., the big running back out of Arkansas, who, if you're an everydayer, number one, thank you for tapping in with us each and every day. If you're not an everydayer, let's fix that crap right now. Hit the subscribe button and lock in. But because the draft is not too far away, guys, we have a month and a half before the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. But listen, Mike Washington Jr., I've been talking about him since probably around December. He's been a top 5 back for me over at Bleacher Report since December. Crazy that my editor, one of our editors, one of my supervisors over there, messaged me while I was at the combine. And when Mike Washington ran, he said, man, you were the first one talking about this young man. And he's like, I look back at my text. You text me December 1st when I first watched this film. 6'1", 223 pounds, and he ran a 4.33 in the 40-yard dash with a 1.51 10-yard split, 39-inch vert with a 10.8 broad. It's that type of elite athletic performance and testing that solidifies players, right? When you're 6'1", 223, and you run with patience, you run with vision, you have kind of that Le'Veon Bell, kind of this slow, patient pressing of the line of scrimmage and nice short area burst to jump cut, go from A gap to A gap and B gap to C gap and A to B or whatever the case may be, and evade and elude defenders, but then run with the physicality and power. This is a guy that honestly, Mike Washington Jr. may have made his case for RB2 over Jadarian Price for some people. I still have Jadarian Price as RB2 right now, but I am moving Mike Washington Jr. up over a Katron Allen, over a Emmett Johnson. He's going to go firmly as my RB3. He's earned that. The tape is good. Yes, there's ball security issues. You got to protect the football. Being a hard-charging, just battering ram with elite top-end speed, yes, protect the football, and he catches the ball out of the backfield as well. Got to work on some pass protection things, but nonetheless, I'm going to do a profile on him soon enough. But nonetheless, guys, he made himself a lot of money. I think he helped himself a lot. That's why you saw him over there crying, because now, hey, tell mama, tell papa, whoever, like, tell the family, I got y'all, right? I just made enough money to take care of y'all. But I got to go to my RB1, and that is Jeremiyah Love. And what a day Jeremiah had, guys. He didn't – I don't even know if I say he made money, that he was a money maker more than hey, the bag was already set up for you, brother. You just had to come in here, do your thing, and then walk out with it. I think that's what it was. You know, just it wasn't a, hey, throw it in the bag. It was like, make sure the bag's by the door when I leave situation. Jeremiyah Love came in almost exactly where where they had him measured in at on Notre Dame's website. 6 foot even, 212 pounds, 32-inch arms, 9 1/8 on the hand. He ran a 4.36 with a 1.55 10-yard split. But it wasn't just he didn't do any of the vertical, broad, 3-cone, short shuttle, any of that. He did the 40 because he wanted to showcase what you see on tape. Oh, it's real. It's the real deal, Holyfield. And that's what I loved about Jeremiyah Love. I just did a breakdown on my YouTube channel right before the combine, right before I left. I'm pretty sure I dropped it sometime last week, I believe. He's a special back. He's in that Bijan Robinson, that Jahmyr Gibbs, that tier. I have him graded higher than Ashton Jeanty and Amari Hampton from last year. He's a home run hitter. He catches the ball out of the backfield. And guys, being in the stadium, I was there after the running back stopped, after the whole thing was done. They did their workouts. They did their flips and all that stuff like that. Him and a couple other backs, Jadarian Price, Eli Heidenreich from Navy, and Emmett Johnson, all of them were doing wide receiver route running drills with the scouts and coaches. They were doing that, showcasing their ability. This dude is smooth, and it's crazy as if you're a baller or a basketball fan, you ever heard of the term second jump? He's got a quick second jump. He's got a fast second jump, and that's usually when a guy goes up, at the rim, whether for a rebound, whatever. They get the rebound, their feet hit, they're right back up before anybody else can make a play on the ball and try to block them, whatever, contest the shot. Well, he's got a quick and fast and explosive second jump. When he's going through the bag drills, you see Jeremiyah Love, like he's reading and cutting off the bag, right? Once he comes to the high knees aspect, you got a coach holding the taller bag, the little dummy bag, and they go either left or right. So he went left, Jeremiyah Love jump cuts. The bag went to Jeremiah's right, so he jump cuts left. Then there's another bag presenting a defender. He jump cuts back to the right. That quick jump once his toes land, he's back off. He's exploding. He's springing, and I'm just telling you, man, I love him. Jeremiyah Love is a special running back. So to me wasn't so much about making more money. He could have, right? He could have landed himself top 6, top 7, right? I mean, heck, at number 3, I mean, you got the Arizona Cardinals. Maybe they say, you know what? We go get your man Illuminor at right tackle through free agency, and we got a vet there. You go Jeremiyah Love, and if Ty Simpson's there at 34, you run that card up and you walk out with 2 offensive cornerstones potentially for your team. But nonetheless, Jeremiyah Love, stamp him, top 10. If he falls out, we're tripping. If we had Ashton Jeanty in top 10, man, I love Jeanty, but this dude is different. He's different. He's special, man. Another running back that we got to talk about, man, is Navy's Eli Heidenreich. And let me tell you something, guys. This is not just standard white running back. Okay, I'm just gonna call it like it is. We're not about to skin color this man and say he's just a white running back, that he's got to be a Kyle Juszczyk. He's got to play these different roles. No, this is a running back, and I can't wait to really get into his film. Guys, hear me like seriously. 6 foot, almost 200 pounds, senior running back, 4.44 in the 40, 1.55, 10-yard split, 35.5 inch vert with a 10 on the broad, and he put up 16 reps. He was one of those backs after the workout running routes, like wide receiver routes. I'm talking short motion from the X, running the reverse pivot or the pivot route. And everything like that, the whip route back outside. He synced his hips well. He broke out with explosiveness and everything. I'm telling you, this is a guy, when you think about those, I had to look up. I don't know if it's the same in terms of like body type, but those Patriot teams, and I'm not talking about a white running back either. You know what I mean? Let's not do that. But you think about like James White, who played at Wisconsin, and everything, Super Bowl champion James White. James White did everything. He pass protected. He caught the ball. He was listed at 5'10", 205. Okay? When you look at Eli Heidenreich, 6 foot, basically 200. So just like 2 inches taller, right? Roughly around the same weight and everything. He can play running back. I truly believe he can play running back. And if I'm a team, I'm letting him do it, right? And I think that he can give you that run pass. He gives you that run pass versatility that you want and that you need. I can't wait to dive into his film and everything and really watch him. Didn't get a chance to watch him live this season, but I can't wait to watch his film. Lastly, Clareborne out of Wake Forest, right? Explosive. 4.3, I believe 4.37. He was like third in the 40-yard dash with a 4.37, with 5'10", 188. He's a jitterbug. He's packed with explosiveness. He had a 1.59 10-yard split, so almost a 1.6. And then he still ran sub 4.4, 4.37 with a 1.5, almost a 1.6 10-yard split. Lets you know that top end speed, once he reaches it, it's crazy. But You watch his tape. He is explosive. He is dynamic, and he is fast. So talking about being an RB2, RB3, a guy that can flip the field, Keaton Mitchell is the comp for him. That's my comp for him. Keaton Mitchell for the Baltimore Ravens. That just speed threat. But guys, coming up next, we're going to talk about the wide receivers and why Zachariah Branch may have been my biggest winner of the weekend. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night. From early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts, there's always action on the board. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay you want. Rivalry games, ranked matchups, wherever fits your read. You can mix spreads, totals, and player props to match how you see the slate playing out. Even look at the odds surrounding your favorite team if they are in season. Go safe, go bold, but ride with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style, and now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com today to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you still have to fill is sitting open. When the pressure's on, you need the right hire. This is a job for Sponsored Jobs. Indeed, Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Wide receiver prospects that made themselves some money and raised their stocks at the NFL Scouting Combine last weekend is what we're getting into next. But guys, thanks for being an everydayer with us. If you want the show ad-free, check out the Everydayer Club. Go to LockedOnNFLDraft.supercast.com to subscribe. Man, Zachariah Branch, the wide receiver, the explosive, dynamic, yards after catch wide receiver out of Georgia, former USC wide receiver as well. Listed at 5'9", 177 pounds. Came in with 29 3/8 on the arm, 9-inch hands. And this is a young man that ran a 4.35, and I don't believe he had a clean start either, with a 1.5 flat 10-yard split. Explosive jumps in the vertical with 38 inches at 5'9", a 10.5 in the broad, put up 20 reps on the bench press. And I was so excited for him, man, because I think that's the film is the film, and what you're asked to do, like, that's a big thing. What are you asked to do compared to what can you do? I remember when another Georgia player came out, Todd Gurley. When Todd Gurley came out, it was him and for RB1 for a lot of people, it was him and Melvin Gordon, and Melvin Gordon caught the ball out of the backfield. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, Melvin Gordon's clearly the better guy, the more versatile guy. And I said, no, I don't believe that. Todd Gurley just doesn't have the opportunity to do so because of the fact he's such a dominant runner. He's such an elite runner. Well, he gets to Sean McVay, and now it goes from, oh, well, that's what he was asked to do, is just run the ball and not catch the ball. He can absolutely catch the football. I think that's the same thing here with the Zachariah Branch. I'm not saying he's going to be offensive player of the year and all that type of, like, an elite wide receiver in the NFL. Not saying that, but what I'm saying is that I think it's a tale of what you're asked to do compared to what you can do. And at two schools, he was asked to be that gadget underneath. His yards per route run were not great. When you value those stats, listen, I watched the film. I paired the film with the stats. It matches, right? But it's more so, again, what are you asked to do? It's so much context that is typically missing. So for me, I look at Zachariah Branch. He tested like an elite athlete, which we knew. But he caught the ball going through the gauntlet drill, caught the ball so well, just plucking it out of the air, securing each pass. But not only that, it was the movement skills. I feel like as a route runner, he was good, like breaking and planting and cutting and just like if it's man to man, I feel like you could have separated a lot on Saturday. I feel like this is a guy we got to talk about. And I'm going to tell you right now, Keith, shout out to my boy. He'll be back on tomorrow's show. Keith has talked about it. He's mentioned this name, Zay Flowers, and I got mock draftable pulled up here. I'm looking at him on the other monitor. So stick with me here. Zay Flowers came in 5'9" and a quarter, 182. He had a wingspan of 72 and 1 quarter. Arm length, 29 and a quarter. 10-yard split, 153. 40-yard dash, 442. Vertical jump, 35 and a half. Like, hey, man. Again, Zachariah Branch, 5'9", 177, so a little bit lighter. Okay? 29 and 3/8 on the arm, 9 inches on the hands. But he's so much more explosive. 4.35, 38 in the vert, a 1.5 flat 10-yard split. But he fits the mold of that type of receiver, and the way that Zay Flowers has been used coming out of Boston College and then going to the NFL. I think you can get that type of usage out of a Zachariah Branch. I'm just being honest here with you guys. So he was one of my biggest, if not my biggest winner of the weekend at the wide receiver position. Got to go to one of my other guys, Casey Concepcion. He didn't run the 40. I want to see that 4.3. I really did. Want to see 4.4, 4.3. Want to see him jump, all of that, right? He had the throw out, and it was just flowing. The throw was flowing. But it was the on-field workout, which was so impressive to me. The movement skills, the smoothness, the crispness, the oily hips, to come to a stop on a dime when he's running a hitch route and different things of that nature. He was so smooth and fluid. But then also he's so dynamic and explosive, because even though it's not a real football setting, you saw him turn hitches or just once he got the ball in his hand, he turned upfield and he just ate up grass with every step. Like, this is an explosive, one of the most dynamic players in this class. And like Zachariah Branch, you know, at NC State, if he stayed there, he was only utilized really truthfully like that gadget guy or slant guy, and let's get the ball easily to you and let you make plays. He went to Texas A&M and he developed and he showcased, I got a release package. I'm sudden. I'm quick at the line of scrimmage. Ask Mansour Delane. Ask Leonard Moore from Notre Dame. I gave both those guys hell. Like, he is that good, okay? Running routes. He'll go up and make plays on the ball despite being a 5'11" guy. I think it came in 5'11", 196. So good height, good weight, good frame on him. Wanted to see him test, but I think overall his field workout, and he caught the ball very well. He caught the ball well, and that's what made so much. That's what made it, because he targeted for about 7 drops this year, right? And that's tough overall. It's tough, but he caught the ball well, and he did everything he needed to do on Saturday. And I really appreciate what he was able to go out there and do. Again, standing in front of the media is not easy for anybody, even without a speech impediment, nonetheless having one. So shout out to Casey Concepcion, big time winner for me overall at the wide receiver position. But not just that, guys. Skyler Bell at the wide receiver position, man, he tested well with like a 4.4 flat. He jumped well. We know he's a smooth mover and good route runner, separate, short area quickness, and lateral agility. 4.4 flat, 1.53, 10-yard split, 41-inch vert, 11.1 in the broad. He checked in at 6 foot even, 192, 31 and 1/8 on the arm, 10-inch hands. I have him as a third. I would not be surprised if he's either right at the top of the third, or with his testing and with his film. And you go back to the Shrine Bowl. He should have been in the Mobile. He was at the Shrine Bowl, and he was cooking that first day, and then he ended up getting a little bit banged up, and he couldn't practice and everything. With all of that said, he could end up being a second-round pick. Absolutely. He could end up being a second-round pick out of UConn. And, again, talented young man. And now you see that he's an elite, explosive athlete. Jump, speed. He's got all of it, guys. Another guy, Antonio Williams, he tested 4.41. I think he jumped 39 inches in the vert. He tested well. He was explosive. And you know he can run routes. You know he can get yards after the catch and everything. Jacoby Lane. Guys, Jacoby Lane, 4.47. I think 39 inches in the vert and everything. Might have been 10.9 in the broad. Let me just pull it up at 6'4", 200 pounds, 4'7", 158, 10-yard split, 40 inches in the vert, 10'9" in the broad. He performed well. The gauntlet drill for him was impressive. He ran it fast. He was explosive. He was dynamic in that situation, just striding it out, catching everything, big hands, I think 10.5-inch hands. Like, yes, he did well. And I'm gonna close it out, guys. I'm gonna close out with probably one of the biggest winners, because you're sending people to go watch your film. Jeff Caldwell out of Cincinnati, right? I'm mad they didn't have my guy Cyrus Allen, who cooked almost every DB at the Senior Bowl. Some guys who were invited, but maybe he wasn't going to test like a freak athlete, because I believe that we found the alien that was in the Miami Mall a couple years ago. That was Jeff Caldwell just walking through trying to buy some Jordans, guys. Jeff Caldwell, 6'5", 216, 32 5/8 on the arm, 9 3/4 on the hand, a blazing 4.31 with a 1.48, 10-yard split, 42-inch vert, 11.2 in the broad. This is an alien personified. He's not from here. He's not, like Kendrick Lamar said, he's not like us. Like, this just is what it is, but it's because we're not like him. He's a different guy overall. So while I'm getting into his film, 6'5", almost 220 pounds, and he ran 4.31 with a 1.48, 10-yard split. That's freakish athleticism, okay? So he's a big-time winner, because he's going to force all of us to go watch the film, see what he is able to do. So shout out to Jeff Caldwell. But guys, coming up next, I got to talk about those players, those prospects that didn't help themselves. We're going to talk about the bag fumblers coming up next. We live in a world where we can stream anything, order food in minutes, and carry supercomputers in our pockets, and somehow buying tickets to live games still feels difficult. Hidden fees, jumping prices, endless steps. There has to be a better way. And there is. That's why I use the Game Time app. It gives fans the advantage and makes getting tickets simple. Whether it's an NFL game, concerts, comedy shows, whatever you're into. You can see panoramic views from every seat before you purchase. Plus, the price you see includes all fees. You will not have surprises at checkout. 2 taps and you have great seats locked in. Fast, easy, done. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Locked On for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use the redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen of the day, and thank you for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network in America. It's all because of you. Guys, money makers, we talked about it. But the guys who fumbled the bag, I got to start with Emmett Johnson, running back out of Nebraska, 5'10", 202 pounds. But to me, he looked a lot big. He looked a little bit bigger than that in terms of his body type. He looked muscle bound, right? And he ran a 4.56 in the 40, which isn't terrible. But when you're you're amongst a lot of guys running faster times. He had a 10-yard split of 159, 35.5-inch vert, 10 on the broad, 7.32, 3-cone drill, 20-yard short shuttle. 20-yard short shuttle was a 4.29. 3-cone was 7.32, and he put up 16 reps on the bench. I think for me, being a guy that thrives in the gap scheme and everything, I wasn't expecting him to be some just down like explosive 4-3 back, but he looked to me as the on-field work. He just looked a little rigid, a little stiff in the hips, and everything with transitions and cuts. And this was a guy that when I remember watching him, you go to my Twitter page, right? Go to DPN NFL and you look for that search icon and you search Emmett Johnson. You're gonna find a kind of a B-roll of clips, just highlighting what he was able to do. What I saw on film, and I saw a guy that could string together jump cuts and everything, and make some guys miss and whatnot. But yeah, it's just tough. I just didn't see him. What's the word? I didn't see fluidity with him. And again, if he bulked up a little bit, if he's actually a 190 back and he's a lot quicker and shiftier, cool. But I just felt like watching him, I saw a guy that's going to have to be get downhill and everything and not be able to escape tight confined fronts laterally. And that's sad because I thought he showed that on tape. Next up, I got to go wide receiver here. We're going to go one wide receiver, one running back, and then end with another wide receiver. I got to go to Malachi Fields. And this wasn't just a man, he lost himself a lot of money. I felt like he may have dropped, he had potential to be a top 30 pick. He might hear his name called at the end. Maybe. But more than anything, he's probably going to fall into day 2. And that's, he came in at 6'4.5", 218, 32 1/8 on the arm, 9-inch hands. He ran a 4.61 in the 40, 1.63 10-yard split. He did have a vertical jump of 38, a broad jump of 10.4, 3-cone of 6.98, and a short shuttle of 4.35. So it wasn't all bad for him, but 4.6 is tough. Now, again, I wrote about him and everything, and I said, listen, if you were expecting 4.4, you were lying to yourself. You had a bad expectation. That's on you, not on the player. But 4.61 with a 1.63 10-yard split is tough. But I can see teams that want a traditional possession receiver because he still wins in the first and second level with good quickness, route running, attention to detail, and spacing and spatial weight. He does those things well. So I'm not even going to sit here. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, he can't do this, that. No, he can. He absolutely can, guys. But it's going to be, hey, how do we utilize him? Utilize him to his strengths. You'll be happy with the receiver that you draft. But he definitely hurt himself with that 40 time. Jamari Taylor, another running back, 5'10", 199, did not do any athletic drills except for the vertical and broad, and they weren't good either. 34.5 and 9.7 in the broad. He put up 20 reps on the bench, but take it for somebody who's a short king. When you have shorter arms, it is easier, but we are still strong. All right, we still flex on them. Don't get it twisted. All right, hey, don't get it twisted. We still throw them weights around. All right, we still throw them Cadillacs around. All right, don't play with it, but nonetheless. Yeah, he just didn't. I think for me on field, when you come in sub 200, want to see you move quick, move fast, move fluid. Didn't see those things from Jamari Taylor. So I think this is a guy that's probably gonna go day 3 in this running back class. I'm gonna watch his film and everything, get a full report up on him. But it was just a little concerning, not like just he felt tight, felt rigid in the hip area. And I'm gonna close this thing out talking about a guy that I believe had a chance to go at 21 to the Steelers. Or somewhere in round 1, I had a second round grade on him, high day 2 grade on him out of Washington, wide receiver, Denzel Boston, 6'4", 212, 32, even on the arms, 9 3/4 on the hands, no 40, no 10-yard, no broad, no 3-cone, no bench. Vertical jump was a mere 35 inches. And for context, Caden Wheatgen, 5'8", white wide receiver out of Iowa. Oh, yeah. He jumped 35.5, if I'm not mistaken. So, 20-yard shuttle for him was 4.28. He had drops in I think the gauntlet drill. He dropped one just in on-field drills. He dropped the ball. He didn't look fluid and explosive. And yeah, man, I don't know. It just was another possession style wide receiver. And I think that there's the short area quickness didn't look good and everything. I think Denzel Boston's probably going to be someone that we view and we talk and discuss about as a day 2 pick, possession wide receiver that has to be used a specific way, crossers, in breakers. I think he's a great fit for that Juwan Jennings role for Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers and everything. He can play outside because his ball skills and everything else. But that 35-inch vert at 6'4", that's concerning too. I thought you had better leaping ability than that. But overall, guys, that is the show. Recapping the moneymakers, the bag fumblers, right? From the NFL scouting combine for the wide receivers and running backs. Go subscribe and follow free on YouTube, wherever listen to podcasts to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. Coming up on tomorrow's show, Keith will be back, and we will be talking quarterbacks, discussing the biggest winners, why we feel that way, have an in-depth conversation on some guys, and then who hurt themselves, who didn't perform to the greatest level of their skill set and talents. That on tomorrow's show. So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.